Hey guys, so welcome back. Today we are talking to another amazing entrepreneur and business owner. She just so happens to be my cousin too. But she is an amazing entrepreneur that has done some amazing things. And I wanted to bring her on to tell her story because she does a few different things that she has been successful at. So again, you get to hear from the mouth of the entrepreneur, different businesses that you can start and how to utilize other people's money because that's one of her specialties as well. So, welcome back to our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I want to introduce you guys to Coach Amy. If you can
Okay.
tell us a little bit about your business and what it is that you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Coach Amy, and I'm known for giving you all the shit you need to know. So, I have a few businesses. First, I have a childcare slash preschool located here in St. Louis, Missouri, in the St. Charles area. I've been in business for, well, I'm in my 10th year. So, in November, it'll be 10 years. So, I'm proud of that because I made it through COVID. It was a struggle, and that's a story in itself. So, I also have an Airbnb business, a short-term rental business. In addition, I'm also a business credit consultant, and now I'm mentoring and guest speaking. So, quite a few things on my plate.
Congratulations. So, how did you start your childcare business?
So, originally, prior to that, I worked in law enforcement for 15 years. Stressful job. But I think what touched me most was in my mind, I always felt like if I could reach just one person, then my work wasn't in vain. So as the years went on, of course, the population changed more to younger inmates. So I don't know, I always had a thing for serving the community. So I thought, why not just open up a childcare center? I don't know. I always loved kids too. So it just all kind of intertwined together. And here we are in the 10th year, still going. So that's how I got started in the childcare field.
Wow, wow. Thank you for your service too. And
Mm.
so now you're a business credit consultant and coach. How did you stumble upon business credit and what made you want to dive into that world?
Uh, Crazy as sad. You know how people just add you to Facebook groups? Somebody randomly added me to a group. And I just started getting notifications, and, just sitting back watching. And I don't know. I didn't really think it applied to me, even though I was watching because I was already established in my childcare business. But I don't know. It was something about people kept saying you can get things not using your EIN. So I already had business credit and didn't even know. Like the actual vendors I was ordering from, they were reporting. I knew about a DUNS number because, of course, I took college business courses all through high school and everything, but I didn't know that they were actually reporting, self-reporting without my permission. So I guess that's how it worked. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this card thing that everybody's talking about. So I started investing in myself. I took a couple courses and as they call, I ran the play. And they called me back like 5 minutes later from the dealership and they were like, okay, Miss Vaughn, you can come out and pick your car. I'm like, what? What? So I was just so amazed. And I don't know, it was thrilling for me. It's not that I necessarily thought in my mind I needed business credit, but the more and more I studied it, the more and more I took more courses and meeting people who actually were business credit consultants. I don't know. It's about something about that pull and that shift. And it kept pulling and pulling. And I met this lady named Ram and Patrice. And oh my God, just being around that, it just made you want to help somebody. And I'm like, I have to teach my people this because we do not know this type of stuff. Nobody, and I'm thinking I'm smart. You thinking you educated and so smart. And I took all these business course. I have a business degree and didn't know about business credit. So, um, you know, we know about business credit, but you think you have to run to the bank to get this big loan, or you have to get approved by Chase Bank to obtain OPM or other people money, and you don't. You really don't. So yes, I was thrilled by it, and I was like, I need to teach this. I need to teach people. So that's how I kind of fell into it.
So let's go back. You said you got a car in your business name. Did you use
Mhm.
your Social security number?
I did not. I did not. No money down, no EIN.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah. There's really no untold big secret about it now. You can pretty much find out um all this free information on the internet. But the thing is, and that I'm finding out with even just my more recent clients, is the economy is changing,
Yeah.
and these banks are a little nervous about giving out loans. So they may actually ask you for financial statements. They may want to see the flow of income in your business, when prior to COVID or the pandemic, you didn't need bank statements. As long as you had your business structure properly and an EIN letter to take in with you, and that particular dealership allowed commercial financing, you can get it. But the second parts of that is, a lot of these dealerships themselves are not educated on commercial financing with no money down, or whatever the case may be. And I'll give you an example. Even my daughter wanted a new car. And I live in St. Louis, went to the dealership, and the finance manager had been working there for 30 plus years. And him himself had his car financed in his business name and his social security number. And I'm like, yes, you can. We went back and forth for a few minutes, and it was with Ally Bank.
You can only use he didn't know you can only use your EIN?
Yes, he didn't know. He wasn't, he said he just didn't know. And so he said, you know what? I'll try anything once. So we sat down in his office, he typed in the information, and we sat back and wait. Like 3 to 4 minutes later, the little alert went off on his computer. And excuse my French, she was like, I be damned. You approved. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he was just so, like, he just didn't get it. He was just like, oh wow, I need to change mine. Yes, you do. And I'm gonna show you how. So
That
don't
right
let
there.
those people tell you.
Right, and you also got to network and teach him something that he didn't know. So, how has business credit helped you in your business and your business endeavors?
So with the daycare, it pretty much been on autopilot, but I do use my Net 30 vendors to order supplies monthly. Um, with my business consulting business, it's been more helpful because, of course, I didn't have any assets starting out. I was a new consultant, so I'm having to build up my clientele. But I just started building my business credit, step by step, tier by tier, and it helped me with supplies, because I really did need supplies. Two, I started a money flow, I would call it. So I learned how to leverage to rinse and repeat money through my bank account to show income when I really did not have income. I started using the app Stripe. And so I would leverage my credit cards to rinse money through, go back and pay off my credit card. And then on my Stripe account, going into my bank account, my business bank account, it was showing income that I didn't have. But basically, I was just rinsing and repeating business credit.
And you also started did you use your business credit for your Airbnb business?
I did. So with the Airbnb, it allowed me to pay my rent. It allowed me to use Amazon. Amazon the Net 30, and in the beginning it was the Net 55 account. So basically you have 55 days to pay your vendors, or your vendor, the Amazon, before they canceled it. But now I have Net 30 on my both businesses, and it allowed me to furnish my units. It allowed me to furnish my units.
Wow. How many units you have now?
Right now, I have 11. I have 4 of them on Airbnb, and the other ones, I have long-term tenants. And then I started another stream of income where if individuals aren't able to basically rent an apartment in their own name, I can help you. You pay me a little bit more over rent because they furnish their own units, and then that's a source of income. So,
Y'all, so many ways that you can make money.
yeah, yep.
So I know you said that because you finding out about business credit was just like mind blowing to you, and you started teaching other people. What does that look like? What kind
So
of program do you have?
I have a few things. You could book just a regular 30-minute discovery call with me. We can go over. Usually I tell people, have your questions written down because I don't like to waste time. In 30 minutes, you can get a lot done. I can basically run through the whole blueprint of building business credit in 30 minutes if you take good notes. You do a 30-minute discovery call. You can do a 1-hour power session with me, which includes giving you hacks, different tricks. If you want to run a play, if you just feel like you need to talk to me and you don't know what you're doing, we can go through that. I've had people who wanted to jump in Airbnb or short-term rental business and could not afford the full class, so they did a 30-minute discovery call, and you would be amazed what you can get done in that 30 minutes. So I'm changing a lot of my products right now. Today I have a sale going on. What this weekend I did. I'm revamping everything, and I'm going to be adding in some new things. So if anyone is looking to maybe tap in with me, I did create a special link for your community. If they want to do a 30-minute discovery call, they just text my text link and I can give that to them at the end of the interview.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we'll be sure to put that down in the description. So y'all, so with business credit, uh, I would say, well, I would ask, why do you feel like it's so vital for new business owners to utilize or tap into business credit?
So if you do not have a flow of money or startup money or just funds, period, to begin, business credit can get you there. I know people promote grants a lot, and I like grants, but sometimes grants take a long time, or maybe they're only giving out 25, and we live in a world of millions of people. And I'm sorry, my luck is never that good. I have yet to win the lottery. So I do like grants, and I do always encourage people to apply for them. But business credit can allow you to start. Let's just say you want to jump in an Airbnb business. Let's say you pick a complex that gets you a month of rent free. So if you use your business credit to furnish your unit, to pay the fees up front, application fees, and just think you could be making money and pay off your debt and still be profiting within that first month. So business credit can really, really take you places that you couldn't do. And let's just be honest, a lot of people's personal credit is not always in line. So if your personal credit is not in line, which you do need to fix because things are still changing, but you can still obtain certain accounts that will allow you to start your business and make moves without using your social security number. So I know it sounds like a lot and you may be confused, but I'm telling you, if you get with the right person to help you, or how a 30-minute call can just take you to the next level, I'm serious. Like, you really need to tap into the business credit.
And I'm glad that you touched on grants, because I know I myself, I have applied, I have paid people to help me apply, and I probably applied for over 300 grants. And unfortunately, I have not received one.
Not
So,
one.
so that's just to let you know, and I'm just one person, but grants are awesome, they're amazing. But like Amy said, you're one in millions of other people that could potentially be applying for that same grant versus you just sitting down and taking the time to build out your business's credit profile and getting access to uh, different vendors that you can use in different businesses, getting access to credit cards or lines of credit for your business, not immediately, but within a few months.
Mhm. Yes. I do wanna touch on personal credit, though. If you have not, there are too many options out here for you to fix your personal credit, and I'll tell you why, like, the American Express cards and the Chase, and I'm telling it has really allowed me to travel for free with the free travel miles, to be able to hop on a plane. Literally, one of my locks updated and kicked me off of all my apps, and I had to fly to Houston to fix that because, I had guests coming soon. And so it's important to be able to catch a flight if you need to and not be held back and paying $600 or $700 for a flight. I always say use your credit cards to pay your bills and then use your assets to pay the credit cards off and build up those points. And so one of my clients have been doing that and he was ecstatic about like, man, I got 90,000 travel miles. I could just go hop on a flight. And I'm like, yes, you can. And so it's just like we don't know these type of things. And that's why it just warmed my heart that we can start businesses or we can do the same things that other people are doing, even if your personal credit is not good. But we're starting to add those options too. So I'm tapping into personal credit as well. And I'm gonna get my people together. We gotta do right.
Yeah, so it's one thing to learn something, but then to be able to go back and to help lift up other people. And like she's saying with the personal credit, y'all, you have to fix your personal credit. You can only, you can still get access to business credit, but your personal credit will get you them higher limits.
Hmm.
It'll get you access to even more if your personal credit is good. And I know in this age, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but there's nothing wrong with working a job. When I went into my job knowing that I wasn't going to be there, I had the mentality of I'm just passing through. This is a means to an end. This is going to help me to start my business, to fund my business. And when she's talking about tapping into the business credit, just think if you have $10,000 saved and you spend all of your $10,000 starting your business and an opportunity or something pops up for you to grow or to expand your business, once you tapped out your savings, what you gonna do?
That's it. And entrepreneurship is really, really not a gamble, but you are taking a chance. So just imagine starting a business and things don't work out. And the flip side to the short-term rental business, I have had units that don't do so well, or you put them on multiple platforms and trying to find different sources. So people don't tell you that side of the business and tell you all the great things, but you have to have several streams of income. You have to have several streams to keep that money flow going, or maybe this one flow can help this business. So,
Yes. That's just being transparent, and
mhm.
it's especially in the short-term rental business, I can speak for. In one of the markets we're in Baltimore, it was always slower in the wintertime, but now that the economy is shifting and changes, it's even slower. So we had to make a business decision and cut back on some of the units that we have here and move them in different states. So without me having access to capital or to other people's money or business credit, I wouldn't be able to rent a U-Haul, hire a driver, hire movers to move anything anywhere. I would just be looking crazy or trying to spend my money, right? Because business is it's a risk. Like being an entrepreneur, it's gonna be good months, bad months. Some years gonna be great, some years may not be. But having access to some type of capital can make or break you when it is slow.
Oh yeah.
And you being an entrepreneur for 10 years, can you give anyone any advice that's thinking about just quitting their job or thinking about starting maybe a side business with the hopes of quitting their job?
Oh, so This could be a little touchy for some people, but I'm always led by faith. So before I actually left my job, let's just say I had a government job. It was a guaranteed paycheck. I had medical benefits. I'm the sole provider of me and my two kids. And I don't know, I was fed up. I'm like, I got to make a move. And I just felt like God was pulling and pulling. He was like, letting go. And you know how it's just that comfort of knowing you have that check coming every 2 weeks. And I remember getting my income tax check. It was deposited to my bank account. And I said, I'm quitting on February 15th. I quit my job, and my dad was like, "You crazy. Like, don't come over here asking for nothing. Are you sure you know what you're doing?" But I knew God told me to quit. It wasn't just me. It was just like I had to let it go. I really, really did step out on faith. And between February, March, April, it was almost May. I didn't have not one kid in my daycare, not one. But guess what? The lease was paid, my bills at my house were paid. I was living off my income tax check, and we didn't feel not one struggle, but I still had money in the bank somehow. Now you figure it out. I don't know what that was. I just said it had to be God, because any other time I definitely would have been in my parents' house. I would have had to break a lease or something. But my advice would be, um just make sure you do your research. I definitely researched my market. I definitely knew that this is what I wanted to do. And it's okay to step out on faith if you led by faith. Um, don't always just listen to things you see on social media. Some people sell a lot of fluff. Some people are giving you advice on things they are not doing. And I try to always only promote services that I have test ran myself. And I do have a private Facebook group where I have real conversations. And I'm saying, like, yeah, you may want to tap into this market and do that, but I'm going to tell you my experiences first. And so just make sure you do your research, make sure your mindset is in the right place, because if you are not mentally in the right place or space, or just have your mind together, period, you will break. This, I would say, this past 2 years with trying to make it through the pandemic, with losing more than probably 60% of my childcare center again, couldn't been nothing but God. There are major daycares around me that had to close. There were two more recent daycares in my area that closed, and my doors are still open. I'm short staffed because people don't want to work, but God has saw fit that I'm still running. So I'm just grateful. Just stay led by something. Whoever your God may be, whoever your higher power is, just make sure you're rooted and grounded in that. That's my advice.
Thank you. And another question, because I get this a lot, and I actually had somebody ask me on social media, why would I pay you for your program? Or they asked me this question, for your program or mentorship, when I can use that money to start whatever business. What has you paying an advanced level coach or mentor done for you in your business?
Speaking of myself,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be transparent, and I actually had this conversation earlier in my private group, which is funny. I have paid over $9,000 just within these last couple of months for coaching, high level coaching. And the reason why, one, accountability, someone to keep their foot where it needs to be so that I stay motivated. You would think that I'm really motivated, but between running a full-time daycare during the day and being a business credit consultant midday through the night, some nights I don't go to bed till midnight. And so I'm tired. And I don't want to get on social media and promote my business. I don't want to make reels. But if I know my coach is watching, if I know that she gonna be on my butt, I do my homework. So the accountability part of it is why I always invest in myself. And me myself being a coach and mentor. Yes, I do text daily. Yes, I do. I don't see this. Where are you at? So that's important. Some people need to be motivated. And I feel like if you did invest in me, and why I do invest in myself is because at some point, you do have to keep yourself educated of what's new. Trends are always constantly changing. Um, you may see something one day and the next day it has changed. Just like I said, one day one company may allow you to get or obtain business credit. Now they require you to use your social security number. So that's what coaching is for.
Mhm.
These people have already invested in themselves to get training, and now I'm going to invest in them to bring that information to me.
What would you say? Would you say that you received a return on investment from the investment cost of paying your coaches and your mentors? Have you seen the return?
Oh yeah, just yes. I told you I paid almost 9,000 in coaching, and just last night I made about $8,000.
In one day, not even the 24 hours.
Yes, yeah, and that doesn't include the Airbnb. This is just from my consulting business and my services. People are lazy, so they prefer to pay me to build their credit for them, and that's okay. A lot of people don't have time. So I'm
Mhm.
going to invest in you to do the work and then let me know when now I can go use all of this stuff. So yeah, you have to, at some point, you can sit and watch all the free videos. You can Google all the YouTube videos and watch. But at one point, you're going to have to invest in yourself, whether it be a low ticket price class, whether it be a master class, or whether it be one-on-one coaching and mentoring. You're going to have to invest in yourself.
Free can only get you so far. And sometimes when it gets you there, it may not yield the results that you want it to yield. And there's nothing wrong with you getting free information until you're in a position to pay for the paid information. But like Amy said, there's a lot of people out here that are teaching stuff that haven't done it.
Mhm.
They're trying to teach you how to go get a car with only your EIN and they've never done it. They trying to teach you Airbnb and how to go and start the business and they've never done it. Right? They're trying to teach you all of these things and they haven't actually done it. Amy got receipts. You know, she has the receipts. And even though she says she be tired, she shows up on her social media. She gonna show up and she's gonna give you the stuff you need to know to get your business on track and in order. So until you can get in a position to pay for the pay information, and y'all, it's only so much free information you can consume that will get you where you want to be in the time frame of when you want to get there.
That's
So,
right.
Amy, let them know how they can reach you, where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube at ATR underscore Coach Amy. And I have a private business group, and that's business credit, semicolon, shit you need to know. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
And that's with the dollar sign.
Thank you. And I know you say you have a special link for them. So,
Mhm.
y'all, we're going to put it in the description, but go follow her on Instagram, follow her on YouTube, get in contact with her because I know a little bit about business credit, but that is not my field of expertise. That is her field of expertise, what she loves doing and she loves helping other people. So, get at her if you have questions about business credit and how she can help you run some plays because y'all, she has done it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on, y'all. So we're gonna be dropping more videos with amazing entrepreneurs telling their stories on how they started their business and how you can too. Oh, well, I guess one last question. For you getting into business credit, like what was your initial investment? Because I want people to to know, like, or plan for what that looks like. So what was your initial investment getting into a business credit program yourself?
My initial investment, I just took a regular master course. I think it was 197. And then that particular coach ended up having an event in Dallas. So I traveled to Dallas and that event, it was less than $300 and then my travel fees because at that time I didn't know anything about, the travel miles. I hadn't tapped into that yet. This was in the early stages. And so it wasn't much. You'll be surprised how much one class can take you.
Yeah.
And get in the rooms because you never know who you sit next to. So,
Now we got to talk about that. Getting in the rooms, what does that do for you and your business?
oh my God. I have been networking with some great women, the Her CEO group, and it's just a bunch of entrepreneurs. There's some men in the group as well. And just to think that we all have a common goal of just elevating, and they can call me and say, "Hey, Amy, how do I do this? I'm trying to do this." Or I can call them. They may do personal credit. And because we know that we're in the same circle and everybody's trying to grow, no one's worried about, oh, you need to pay me this or you need to do that. It's a line or a resource. And my mentor told me this: you need to have at least 3 people on on your call list that you can call at any time, then you may need something. And so, you just never know. And an example would be I have one of my mentees, she has a membership to a country club. And she was like, oh, you can use the country club for your meetings. You just never know who you sit next to. And that's why I say that you have to get in not just get in the role, but start networking, actually opening up your mouth and talking to people.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to head off. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview you and setting aside some time for this interview, and I hope you guys got some gems from it. Go follow Amy on Instagram. We're going to drop all of her links, and we're going to drop that special code for you guys to schedule a call if you want to talk to her more about your business credit journey. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.